to be showing you how to create your first cloud application using Floatsquare. Right off the back, you're presented with what we call the dashboard page, and right here in the middle, it kind of acts like you can think of it as a Facebook type of feed that's going to show you all the activity and collaboration and data changes that's happening on the system right here on activity. As you can see, it's a blank page. At the moment, it's actually a blank application, so there's nothing actually to view for now, but we'll get there right now. We're going to start building and adding to the system. Also, notifications is going to be just an update or notification on anything that's changed in the system that you've pre-built into it. Let's say you want to know if a client hasn't paid for this month, it's going to give you a notification saying which clients haven't paid you this month. Recent is just a way to show you which entries you viewed last, and then here on the right side is going to show you your information on the system, how people view you on the system, like your name, and you can change your profile picture, and of course you can change your own password and email and stuff like that as well. Then right below it, depending on the size of your application, it's going to show you the resources that you've used, the name of your cloud application. Its default just uses your name, but you can change that as well. And of course, if you've been invited to other cloud applications or created extra cloud applications, it's going to show you right here. Alright, so coming to the most important part of the system is the sidebar here on your left side. Now this is going to be present on each page in the system. So basically what it is just a way for you to control and add stuff dynamically regardless of where you are on the system. And depending on the role you have on the system, it's going to show you different options of what you can do on the system. For now it's kind of blank, so it's just offering us to go to the dashboard, having us search through the system, or adding stuff to the system via the creation options. So what we can do now is we're just going to start building a simple application for, let's say, a clinic or a hospital or something in the medical line. So I think just the first thing we need to do is just change our cloud application's name, and to do that we go to Cloud App Overview. So this opens up an overview of our cloud application. As you can see, it's running in South African Rand at the moment. We can change it to dollars. It gives us a date format here and asks us if you want any alerts. We don't want any alerts right now, and you can change the language as well. By default, it's set to English. So let's say we want to change that name. We'll just make it change that. Right, so just say update, and then it's going to change this name for us on the system. So the way I did it was I just clicked there on the little plus sign, and then you can edit this information there. So if we want to go back to the dashboard screen, we can just click there on the dashboard, and then it's going to generate, and it's going to take us back to the dashboard screen. Alright, so now you can see Clinic Cloud App. Alright, so let's start adding stuff to our Clinic Cloud App. By that we do is we go to Create Edit, and we go to Add New Page. So just to explain this a bit, is each cloud application consists of multiple pages, or not, but usually multiple pages. Now a page is not just a form, but it's a way for you to manage and collaborate on your data. So it doesn't take the data through to anywhere, it just stores it nice and neatly for you, kind of like a database would, but in a format that best utilizes your own company or organizational structure. So a page can be a way for you to create multiple entries. Let's say you want to add multiple clients to a system, then you can have a client page, and you can have several clients added to the system, each with its own page. You're having its financial data or files or anything regarding that client. So in this regard, we're going to be having pages that are closely relevant to something in the medical field. But yeah, let's start building it. We just click there on the build page and it takes us to the builder page. From here we can start creating our cloud app. So we just click there on the little add button, and now we can add our first page to the system. And I think most important thing to add to a clinic cloud app, I think, would be patients. So yeah, we can have a patient management page. Alright, so first off, you're immediately presented with multiple controls you can add to the system. For now, I think we just want to capture some basic information. I think the list is probably going to be the best option to do that. So we add list, gives a description of what a list is and how it works and so on. So you can just go and add list, give it a name. I think what we want here is patient details. So now we can start adding types of lists that we want to capture. Say name, surname. It's also going to be a text. So here on the side you can see I can select multiple data types. So I just need to tell it more or less what type of data the name or surname is. And a text, number, date, decimal, money, and lists. Item lists are different types of data you can add there. We're going to walk through them just now, or most of them for now. Right, so name, surname, what else can we add here? Let's just say something like contact number. Sorry. It's also going to be text. We can also add something like, let's just say age, just number. Alright, so after we finished adding that, just say done, and boom, now it adds that information or that control to our management page. Alright, so another important thing I think we want to record is something like doctor visits. While the patient has been here, he's been visiting multiple doctors, and we want to know what we want that on record somehow. So as you can see with the list is a singular type of data capturing. So it's just one list, but with this type of data capturing, we want, I think, a table. So we have one page, but with multiple entries. So let's say we're adding a table. Let's say recorded visits. Oh, sorry. Alright, so we want to record the date that it was visited, so we just make a date. We want, let's say we want to know the symptoms of the diagnosis. That's going to be text. We want the diagnosis. It's going to be text. And then of course we want the doctor that did the diagnosis. So for this we can do something like list. Now a list allows us to select something that's been pre-domained on the system. So we can have a list of doctors and then add them. And this is an item list, not to be confused with a cloud list that we've added earlier. So let's say doctors. Now we can add multiple doctors here. Let's just say something like Bruce Wayne, Freddy Krueger, and then we can say allow additional, like when we're adding doctors to the system, we can on the fly add multiple doctors or new doctors, but let's just say for now, for convenience sake and keeping things simple, there's only 2 doctors on staff. So we just say add, and it automatically adds the list to the system. So if we're happy and this is all we want to capture for now, we can just say done, and then it's going to add this control type to the page as well. So let's say we want to capture something like x-rays for the patient, or just files in general, and say, let's say patient files, just say add, and it's simple as that, and it adds a way for us to store individual patient files and x-rays and so on. So just keeping it simple, this is basically what we want to capture about our patient right now. And when we're finished, we can just say, okay, we'll save to cloud. Then it's going to build this type of data capturing for us into the system and take us back to our dashboard screen. Now instantly you can see now we have the option of patient here on our side menu. So when we click on that, it's going to present us with two types of options: see all and add new. So see all is basically once we've added multiple patients to the system, multiple entries, we can view all those entries with the see all option. But for now we haven't added any patients to the system, so we're just going to go with add new, adding a new patient to the system. Right off the back it's going to ask us, are you sure you want to create a new entry? And we say yes. So it's going to generate a page for us to fill in all the data. So this is a management page. Alright, so at the top there you can see, like we designed it, it's going to show all basically the summary of the patient right at the top there. We can add quickly, just say something like John. We add a surname and Doe, contact number. Let's just leave that out for now. Obviously you can say which is required and which is not. Let's just make the age 23. And you don't even need to press save or anything like that. It saves this for you. It saves all the data for you on the fly. Right here at the top of the management page, it just gives an overview of what happened when. It says what type of management page is this. This is a patient page. It was created on this date, and then it has a reference number. Now Floatsquare has a default referencing system built into it, but if you have your own referencing system, or a company has, or a patient or a client or clinic has its own referencing system, you can change it or alter it here to fit the way you want it easily, and then it'll just adapt to that type of referencing. And then it shows who created this page. Then here on the side as well, you have the option to share this page. So this is important to remember, that Floatsquare is a secure system. No one can have access to this information unless they're on your system. And the share button basically allows a person to view this page, but not edit it, but almost in a way you can think of as an interactive PDF file. You just send them the link and they can view this information, but you can withdraw that sharing privilege at any time. And then here you can activate or inactivate this page. It's basically deleting this page. If you don't want this page anymore, you can delete it. But we have disaster recovery, so nothing on the system you can ever finally delete. Everything can be reversed, so nothing can be lost at any point. Alright, so after we've just captured some brief patient details there, we can have a look at our options that we have here. So as you can see, it's empty, there's nothing there at the moment. So let's say we want to record a doctor visit. So it brings up a model menu for us to fill in. You can say the date, let's just say it was today. Symptoms, let's say something like swollen foot, and the diagnosis is broken toe. And then you can say, okay, but which doctor did this diagnosis? You can say, okay, it was Dr. Bruce Wayne. And you can just add it, and then boom, it adds that information for you as well. So you can say, okay, well, the next day you came back, and or let's say just later that day, and you can say severe swollen foot. You can say multiple broken toes. And you can say this time it was Dr. Freddy Krueger that did the diagnosis, and you can just say add, and as you can see, it adds a new row. So right off the back you can see there's a difference between how this control works and how this control works. It captures multiple entries here, and this has just standard single type entry. And then of course the other control we've added here is uploading files. Now, I don't have any x-rays or patient files, but I'm just going to show you how more or less it works. You click there and then you can upload files. So I just have some pictures here I can upload. Let's just pretend for now one of these are like an x-ray or something. Let's just add a random picture there. It can be a PDF document, it can be a Word document, it can be a picture, it can be an x-ray, it can be anything. It's going to upload it there and then nicely organize it for you on the system. And this gets synced to the cloud. And it's also important to remember that all this information is accessible from anywhere, from your iPad or tablets or your phone or laptop. As long as you have an Ethernet connection and you have your sign information, you have access to all this detail and patient files and so on. Right, so just open here, recorded visits, you can see there, patient files. I'm just going to grab the file for us quickly, and there you can see there's the picture that we've uploaded. You can just view it there. Just close it again there. So you want to delete it, you can just select it there and you can say, okay, I want to delete this or so on. Alright, so go into comments. It's basically just anyone on the system that wants to make a comment about something. You can keep track or make a note regarding this patient, and at the bottom there's an audit trail. So at any one moment or stage, if someone changes any data on this page, it gets recorded into the audit trail. So you would always know who's done what on the system, which is very important. So there's no deniability or room for vandalism and so on. Alright, so and we also have a nice search functionality here at the top. So let's say we just want to search for a patient named John. Just type John, and there it shows here's the patient we've just entered, John. So if we just click there, it's going to take us to the management page we just created. We also previously looked at viewing all the patients. So we can just say see all, and it's going to show us all the patients on the system at the moment. So we just have one patient, but if you have multiple patients, you're going to see all of them here. And then we can also go back to the dashboard. And as you can see now, the activity is starting to fill up there. It's showing all the activity that's happened recently on the system. If you go to recent, there it's going to show, okay, you've recently viewed this patient. And that's basically just a quick overview of getting started with Floatsquare. I'm going to be delving into a little bit more advanced features and functionality, but this is just an idea of what you can build with Floatsquare and how you can get started. Please subscribe to this channel, and I'll be uploading various videos regarding automated documents, automated reports, building with rules, how you can implement JavaScript into the system, various other stuff, cool stuff that you can do with Floatsquare. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you sign up for Floatsquare to use the free beta and start building some great applications. Thank you very much. Goodbye.